What's going on, guys? Happy holidays. It's Ted from Nerd Immersion here. It's probably going to be Monday the 28th by the time you see this. So if you celebrate Christmas, I hope you had a wonderful Christmas. If you celebrate Boxing Day, I hope you had a great Boxing Day. And any other holidays, winter festivities that you may celebrate. Obviously, I was tied up with family stuff, so I wasn't able to put this out on Friday, that being Christmas after all. But I still want to get you the video, so not a whole lot of news because it was a light week for everything given the holiday. I'm assuming next week's going to be similar. But we did get some errata, official errata that I kind of mentioned a couple weeks back for the Monster Manual and the Dungeon Master's Guide. So to see that, stay tuned. Alright, so why don't we just jump right in. So, as you can see, on Monday the 21st, errata was released for the Monster Manual and the Dungeon Master Guide. There are not a bunch of huge changes. The newer, actually, just so you guys know, if you're curious, those of you who have bought more recent actual physical copies of the books, they will actually have these updates printed in them. But if you didn't, they'll be here in this PDF. So why don't we start off with the Monster Manual. I'm kind of brushed through this pretty quick because some of these are literally just grammar changes. There are a few things that I think are worth mentioning. So, we start off here, just so you know, non-magical weapons. Where something has a resistance to a non-magical weapon, it now refers to a non-magical attack. Therefore, clarifying that if a creature has resistance to damage, some sort of damage resistant from non-magical weapons, it is now non-magical attacks. Therefore, any kind of spell, like a shillelagh or any kind of fire-based spell, or things like that, any spell, cantrip, whatever, that will work a magical attack, not just a magical weapon. Which again is kind of outlined right here. As you can see here, they list the monsters in alphabetical order, A through Z, and they kind of have some updated. Some of the simple things like, I always say Errata, but I think it might be wrong. But anyway, they added that as an actual language. One of the big ones, I guess, if you're fighting a lot of ancient dragons, almost all of them got an XP boost, sometimes to almost double. The blue dragons was 32,000 XP, now it's 50,000, so on. The assassin kind of NPC type enemies got a tweak. Some of their actual stats went up, which is interesting because they were very powerful as it was. You can see some things went down, some movement speeds have gone up. Again, you kind of work through this. Beholder zombies are immune to being knocked prone now. And one of the big ones here is the half-dragon change. They used to have this ability parry where I think they could like return an attack or block an attack. They got rid of that, they got rid of the saving throws, and they updated the way you calculate the breath weapon and the challenge rating on that breath weapon. You can see this kind of table here. To avoid recalculating the creature's challenge rating, apply the template only to a creature that meets the optional prerequisite in the breath weapon table. So it gets a Wormling's breath weapon if it's size large or smaller and has a challenge rating of 2 or higher. I don't think there was anything that really kind of jumped out at me. Again, some things got bumped up and down. Again, a young brass dragon got some tweaks to it. But yeah, every swarm now is immune to being grappled, in case that came up in any of your games. Vampires got better. Things like that. So, that is the Monster Manual errata. Let's jump over to the Dungeon Master Guide. A couple of interesting little tweaks as I flip through this. Magic item creation has a creation cost specified in the crafting magic items table, half the cost for a consumable, such as a potion or scroll. Attunement, kind of a little clarification. If the prerequisite is to be a spellcaster, it also counts for the ability to cast any spell, whether that's through trait, a feature, not using a like you can't be able to cast a spell through a wand to count as attunement by a spellcaster. But Magic Initiate feat, a racial ability that allows you to cast a spell, that all counts. So those magic items that require attunement by a spellcaster, that would work for you if you're, say, like a tiefling or a drow or a high elf or what have you. Now, all of the things that set your stats, it says it has no effect on you if your stat or whatever it is 19 or higher. So, not that I don't think that's a big one. This one actually impacted my game, this bag of tricks. Previously, the way it was worded, you could argue you could pull 3 animals out of the bag of tricks each morning and throw your little fuzzball, and it turns into an animal that the person who owns the bag can control. Previously, there was nothing stopping you from pulling out 3 animals on day 1. Day 2, pull out 3 more. Day 3, pull out 3 more, and just start to build a menagerie of animals, like a whole army. Now, the creature vanishes at the next dawn, or when it's reduced to 0 hit points. So now you're only limited to 3 animals per day, which is big because depending on some of these bags, you could get a rat or a weasel. And if you drew 3 rats out of your bag of tricks today, that's a sucky day. But if you're like, well, I already have 3 lions from yesterday, then it doesn't really matter. Now it kind of balances that out a little bit. A little clarification on the Pearl of Power. If the expended spell slot was 4th level or higher, the new slot is 3rd level, which is actually kind of nice because it previously said you could only recover a spell slot of 3rd level or higher. So based on this, I guess if you I guess it's supposed to be if you're expending a 3rd level slot cast out of a 4th level slot or something like that, then you get another 3rd level slot. So could you theoretically gain additional 3rd level slots? Like, you spend a 4th level slot, you choose to get that slot back, but it just makes it a 3rd level? I'm still a little confused on that. Clarification on scrolls. If the spell is on your spell list, you can cast it no problem. It does not require any material components. If it is not on your spell list, it is just unreadable by you, unintelligible. You can't read it at all. A little option here on about combining different game effects from magical enemies, magical creatures, your class stuff. Contact poison has an update. I think that was one of the bigger ones. Creature that touches contact poison with exposed skin suffers the effect, or was it injury? One of them. They only work on one. Once it hits, it's gone. Couple tweaks to the rolling for various dungeons, and again, the monsters by environment. They show you kind of the update due to the dragons XP. Not a whole lot. All right, so we've got Mishka NYC.com. There are some D&D. They're fairly expensive, if you ask me, for a T-shirt. They're kind of graffiti style. Again, links will be in the description. This is just something that Wizards of the Coast put out on their website, so you can pick up $32 for a T-shirt. Sounds a little outrageous to me, when most geeky websites like Wheel of Fine, you can get it for $20. Your call. But just wanted to show this updated. This is the cover photo on Facebook now for the official Dungeons and Dragons website. It's clearly Brunar Battlehammer, but what is this art from? I see some kind of demons in the background, this smoke-looking demon. There's some chains over here. This could be a dragon. This could be one of the demon lords. Is this for kind of an Out of the Abyss, just a piece of cover art? Or are we possibly getting a look into some new campaign module that may be in the future? Or is this just completely irrelevant and somebody drew it and it's super awesome? Trademark 2015, and they just were like, we want to just throw this up here because. I don't know, it was a recent change, so I guess we'll have to wait and see if that means anything. It's after the holidays, so a little bit late, but if you wanted to make D&D themed paper snowflakes to kind of hang in your house or in your game room or whatever, on the D&D website, you can download these PDF. Beholder, the D&D ampersand, a red dragon, owlbear, mind flare, gelatinous cube. If you were to click on, say, the Beholder, you can see it would. You cut this, and it'll make a little Beholder snowflake for you to hang up. And lastly, to kind of end on an upbeat, kind of fun, silly note, the D&D 12 Days of Christmas video was released, so I'm going to go ahead and play that for you guys now.
On the first day of Christmas, my DM gave to me a jewel encrusted staff of charming. On the second day of Christmas, my DM gave to me 2 dragon turtles and a jewel encrusted staff of charming. On the third day,
and I believe this is Porn 5 Wizards of the Coast.
3 iron glass, 2 dragon turtles and a jewel encrusted staff of charming. On the 4th day of Christmas, my DM gave to me 4 crawling claws, 3 iron flask, 2 dragon turtles, and a drooling crusted staff of charming. On the 5th day of Christmas, my DM gave to me 5 dancing swords, 4 crawling claws, 3 iron flask, 2 dragon turtles, and a
I think the Critical Role crit miss is better, but
6th day of Christmas, my DM gave to me 6 locking pickups, 5 dancing swords, 4 crawling claws, 3 iron flask, 2 dragon turtles, and a jewel encrusted staff of charming. On the 7th day of Christmas, my DM gave to me 7 rings of swimming, 6 locking pickups, 5 dancing swords.
I'm gonna make the video longer right here. It's just the song.
2 dragon turtles, and a jewel encrusted staff of charming. On the 8th day of Christmas, my DM gave to me 8 modrons marching, 7 rings of swimming, 6 locking pickups, 5 dancing swords, 4 crawling claws, 3 iron flasks, 2 dragon turtles, and a jewel encrusted staff of charming. On the 9th day
Yeah,
of
paper's
Christmas,
flipping.
my DM gave to me 9 satyrs dancing, 8 modrons marching, 7 rings of swimming, 6 locking pickups, 5 dancing swords, 4 crawling claws, 3 iron flasks, 2 dragon turtles, and a jewel encrusted staff of charming. On the 10th day of Christmas,
Almost there, guys.
to me 10 gems of seeing, 9 satyrs dancing, 8 modrons marching, 7 rings of swimming, 6 locking pickups, 5 dancing swords, 4 crawling claws.
they didn't even have like a little background beat though, you know. Well, you'll have mine in the video, so hopefully it syncs up.
11 harpies singing, 10 gems of seeing, 9 satyrs dancing, 8 modrons marching, 7 rings of swimming, 6 locking pickups, 5 dancing swords, 4 crawling claws, 3 iron flasks, 2 dragon turtles, and a jewel encrusted staff of charming.
Last one.
On the 12th day of Christmas, my DM gave to me 12 wands of wonder, 11 harpies singing, 10 gems of seeing, 9 satyrs dancing, 8 modrons marching, 7 rings of swimming, 6 locking pickups, 5 dancing swords, 4 crawling claws, 3 iron flasks, 2 dragon turtles, and a jewel encrusted staff of charming.
Alright, so there you have that. So, anyway guys, I just wanted to say, once again, from all of us here at Nerd Immersion, thank you so much for all of your support throughout the year. It's been a huge year for us here on YouTube. We'd only hit a year on YouTube back in May, and you guys have come out with overwhelming support with likes, subscriptions, comments. I answer all the comments that I get from you guys. The people coming out and checking us out live on our streams and stuff. We are kind of on hiatus for streams. We'll be back the first week of January. There's a couple other cool collaboration things I have going going forward, so be on the lookout for that. I'll update you with information here. Just again, real quick, everything that's over on this side, I always pick it wrong. This is our last Tuesday D&D stream up here for the year. We had a brand new player join. Sean's good friend Celine is now playing a Wood Elven Druid named Clyde, who you can check out her first actual session of D&D in that episode. She actually roars back at me as the DM, which is kind of creepy. You can check here to see my review of the official WizKids Dungeons & Dragons miniatures. They're pretty cool. There's a random aspect to it, though, and if you're not a fan of RNG, it's probably not for you, but at least check them out. I got some images at the end that show kind of the quality of them. And down the bottom is... let's go down the bottom this way, is our Dungeons & Dragons discussion show. The last one we have up there, I believe, is Engaging the Player. We were supposed to do one on all about evil campaigns. However, that one got delayed because they just got too involved in the storyline of the Wintercrest Festival in the D&D, Tuesday D&D up at the top there. We're also looking for a name for our Tuesday D&D campaign show. So if you guys have any thoughts on what to call that, you can leave them in the comments below as well. So with that, folks, I hope you have a wonderful holiday. Have a very happy and safe new year. Please be careful out there. And happy gaming, happy holidays. And I will see you next Friday for a D&D update as well. And I will see you the following week, first week of January, for all new Dungeons & Dragons streams on all sides of it. Tuesday, Thursday, maybe even some other stuff. So I'll see you then. Have a good one.